because of the community of women that I was able to start. And if you all don't know the backstory, I have been doing women's events since 2018. And it's been just growing, and I have been able to consult other women on how to throw magnificent events as well. I per se enjoy more intimate gatherings with powerhouse players because I have come into realization like that's who I am at this point in my life. So I am thankful again for you all coming. And also, I wanted to utilize this platform and make it a little more meaningful because the ability that I have to create programs for women and other people. But this year, I've really had to take the time and set a program for myself, for me to reprogram my life. And so that leads me to now becoming a self published author of my own autobiography, memoir, self help book. This book, it has a few different components. And because I think so largely, it is also two other pieces to this book. But this particular section is just me sharing my stories of how I walked into the realization of who I was, but the tools that I've used from my coaches, from the life coaches and business coaches and mentors that have been around me to implement the things that I have been taught. So you get a little bit about my background, my story. For those who don't know, I grew up on the north side of Chicago, went to school up north my whole entire life, moved to the south side, learned how to live in dual communities, and yeah, that was just my life. So now being an adult, a young mom of three, and now separated, because I did share just a snippet of that in the book because that did kind of ignite my become more self-sufficient and reprogram. Um, and that's still a gray area in my life. Spend that much time talking about it right now, but transparent because that's what brought me to where we are right now. So reprogram. So reprogrammed is my new book. So I also have a self-help journal as well. Questions that I asked in this book. I also have a journal where you could plan out your week and you could write the notes, a reflection of how you feel, those goals, and everybody who's here. I do want you all to go on this this QR code, this link, book pre-sale by Jade Crossfrench, so you can get a book preview for all three books that I have. So the journal and the book, and then I also have how you can self-publish your own book using ChatGPT and KDP Publishing. So that is why I have brought you all here today. But not only did I written a book, my entire trajectory of business has changed. The young lady that I will be introducing in a little while, I met her through a legal shield, attempted legal shield venture, and we sat, we talked, we went to coffee, we had a coffee date, and we renamed the group that I have. Cause at first I said Black Women Maintain, but we came up with the name Wealthy Women Resources together based off of what we found in ChatGPT. So we wanted to make this group where it is like a holistic place where women, business women who have children, they deal with different relationship barriers in their own lives, teaching them how to protect themselves, both spiritually, physically, and mentally, legally. And now what I'm doing, I am getting licensed as a life insurance broker again, because that's how I started off my entrepreneurship journey. So I am teaching women and men alike, but mostly women because this is the platform that God has allowed me to create. I'm teaching them about a product called Foresters. Foresters is a product that equips your family for grants to serve the community. So each year you get $2,000 to give to a nonprofit organization. They also provide grants for schooling, as well as different preventative programs for all of the high risk diseases that we have in our community. So you will all get a takeaway bag, and the information about foresters, one of my new partnerships, will be in that bag. And then the last thing that brought me here is the way that I have been connecting with women lately, and these women who we all want to position each other and position ourselves in a way that we can parasail to the next level. So I was sponsored today by Miss Chrissy Williams, the owner of Advantage Suites, which is a automated system that automates your social media platforms. You can automate your CRM through there. If you had a potential client, you get to have like a client forecast where you could see how much potential income you could have. So it's been beneficial on a lot of different ways. But not only that, this lady, and we're going to introduce everybody, but she's also worked together with me and brought me youth for me to coach this summer. And we had the Shine a Light program. And then now we have youth that get to work with us now. So it's literally changed my life. We're teaching them how to utilize the system to set appointments, to call for us so that we can do the innovative stuff that matters. So you'll all get all of this information here. And then the 3 beautiful women that are here as well, they have their flyers and their promotional material in the bag as well. And then, of course, When Bosses Link the Movement is always behind me. Mr. Mike Watson, Miss Alicia Schaefer, and the whole Whoop Whoop family in the building. I appreciate you all, because without you all, I wouldn't be able to do half of what I've been able to do in the last year. So without further ado, because I am tired of hearing myself talk, but it's important because this is my journey, and I am becoming more comfortable with sharing that, as like knowing that this is where I'm supposed to be. But I do want to introduce Miss Mahalia Cherry and bring her up. She's going to talk to our 2 featured guests today, and then she can pick my brain and ask me questions about this book when I get up here as well. But let me tell you a little bit about her. She is an entrepreneur. She also is a Legal Shield representative. I don't know if she wants me to say that, but I have to say it because that is something that we bonded over, because I am very passionate about having us protect what we have in whatever little way we can. If we can, all we have to do is pick up the phone and ask for advice on from a legal perspective. I think that is so important. Now, will I do that personally? Maybe not. I could refer, but to have somebody in my circle that can do that is pretty dope. So not only that, she also has a mission to connect women through her podcast, ask them what they do, make them share their resources so we can stop gatekeeping, because that is the biggest hurdle that we face in our community. If we stop gatekeeping and really open up community and work together with all of our talents put together, this is proof right here. Me being able to write this book, getting pushed, being held accountable, knowing that I have somebody else to teach these skills to, who want to learn these skills that I have that I'm not even using. Like, why not share that information with one another and push one another and lift one another up? So without further ado, Miss Mahalia Cherry, I'll let you come up and take your seat. You could tell us a little bit about yourself, and then you could call Miss Yolanda up so that you can interview her. Thank you for being here.
Yes, absolutely. Round of applause, or if we can, I don't know. For Miss Jade. Yes, woo woo. How incredibly wonderful this is. Am I in the right position, y'all? I'm where I'm supposed to be. But my name is Mahalia Cherry. Super excited to be the host for today. And when bosses link up, some incredible things can definitely happen. This is our fall oasis. Miss Jade Crossfrench, she tries to shy away from saying anything about herself, but she's so humble in spirit and so kind and generous in all that she does. She's the reason why we're all here in many different ways. And, whether or not sometimes we feel that imposter syndrome kind of creep in, but we have to step into that power, that greatness that we all know that is within us. And so it's so powerful in all of our own uniqueness that we get to come together and just make a movement like none other. And so that's the reason for the season for the Fall Oasis, is so that we all can link together, right, as connectors, as the women that we want to be. We walked in the door, many of us felt like we were, even for the first time meeting each other as strangers, we felt like we had already known each other. And I believe that is because this space is a space that we are yearning for, that we're searching for, right? Because we all know that, well, we're feeling it now, that we are awakening our senses, our mindsets are changing to where we understand that each one needs one. Our left hand needs the right hand. And when we come together and collaborate, some amazing things can happen. Miss Jade has talked about so many different things that she's a part of. And wow, wow, wow. What a list, of accreditations that you can be a part of, that you are out in the community doing exactly what you said you were going to do, right? Letting your heart guide you, letting your heart lead you. And so that's how I, really find myself connecting with other women, or it's just people in general, because I had to learn to love myself. I had to really get an understanding of who I am. And I wasn't just my career. For a long time, sometimes we think that we're just only who we are, be based on what we do, our status in this world. But as a registered nurse, I had to really awaken myself, because I love serving and helping people. But at the same time, I wasn't serving and helping myself according to my God-given talents and gifts, right? And so when I realized it was God that I was serving, it made me understand that my career kind of made way for my purpose in life. And I know that I serve people, and I love helping people to feel good, to feel great about themselves. And so I used to be overweight a little bit, 200 plus pounds, and I found my way into exercise, and exercise changed my life. I lost over 75 plus pounds. Who knows? Because when you put the muscle back on, you know what I'm saying, that body get to looking good. Muscle does way more than fat. But, now I find my joy and pleasure in being a health and wellness advocate, because, nursing is wonderful. I love helping, taking care of people. But the truth of our healthcare system is that it's kind of like a sick system, right? We're reactionary in everything that we do. And most of the times we are putting ourselves in these illness positions where we got to backtrack and figure out, how did we get here? How can we get out of this? And so if we can do those things that prevent us from attaining those illnesses in the first place, then maybe we can really take a choice and chance and really bet on ourselves and do some things for ourselves. So that's what I find pleasure in doing these days, along with connecting with women. And so Miss Jade spoke a little bit about how she and I met as Ladies of Justice Ambassadors, which is powered by Legal Shield, which is a movement and a mission in itself, so that we're making sure that we are leveling the playing field, right? We know that justice is, the scales is uneven already, right? That goes to show you that justice is not as equal as they tell us it's supposed to be, especially as our rights here in the United States. And so what Legal Shield is doing right now is giving us back that power, so that we can be connected and have the answers to the questions that we need. We're not taking advantage of. And so as Ladies of Justice Ambassadors, we too connect with other women in our communities. We're building businesses together. We're bringing out more resources, right? And so what I've learned along my own personal journey is, when I'm getting connected with like-minded women, obviously, those who want to pour out as much as they have accomplished, right? So it's one thing when we can have success for ourselves, but it's another thing when we can have successors or bring people with us, right? It's time out right now for let me go and then I'll come back and get you. Like, no, let's link up and we're gonna go side by side, arm by arm. And so that's what this looks like for Jade and myself partnering together, is making sure that wealthy women have the resources, right? That we can build ourselves up from where we are, and all as a community pour out into one another. I've had so many instances, you wouldn't believe it. I've got a 21-year-old and a 24-year-old. I know I look 20 for myself, but that's okay. I love it. Y'all know how we do. We treat ourselves well, and our bodies will definitely perform for us. But I say that to say, you know, we have a legacy to leave, right? And so, in order for us to be able to build wealth, to overcome the generational, obstacles that we've all had to face, we've got to share some things. We've got to open our mouths. We got to be expressive to letting other people know what it is that we know. Oh, I don't know if they need to know this information, but well, guess what? They may know somebody else that knows somebody. And so that's why we want to open our platform for everyone to be able to bring in their gifts as individuals so that we can enlighten one another and show that as women, we can definitely come together and we can make a movement, out of everything that we do. And so I want to bring up our first guest. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Real.
Oh, yeah.
Look.
All right, that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. All right, love, let's introduce yourself, please.
Sure. I am, first and foremost, thank you. And thank you, Jade. This is an amazing opportunity and moment. I'm Yolanda. They call me the super entrepreneur, but today I am here and so excited about sharing investments. And you kind of touched on a lot of exactly what we need as women and as a community, because people always think of investments as just money. What you just stated is the type of investment that I like to talk about. So that's who I am, and that's what I'm here for.
Yes, awesome. Well, thank you for being as great as you are and wanting to pour out and share with other people. I can't stand it. Sometimes we go to stores and, or wherever we're taking care of our business, right? And we go in there, we ask one question and they give us one answer, right? But they know, they can let us know about something else that's going on. And so, it's just great to be blessed to be a blessing to other people. And so, when you say investments, I know sometimes we do always think about money, right? Or that's again us being ignorant a little bit, and ignorance is okay to say as a word, because it just means that we just don't know what we don't know, right?
That's it.
And in order for us to really overcome and not allow these things to pass us by, we got to get educated.
Yes.
We got to go find out what it is that really means, right? Instead of just listening to, what that word used to mean to other people or what they thought it meant, because they just didn't understand it. So investments absolutely are our assets, right? The things that we can help to grow in order so that we can, expand our portfolio of whatever it is, right? So that things grow. And so can you talk a little bit more about how you help women with the investments and what does that partnership look like?
Yes. First and foremost, investing in you, knowing who you are, like you said, not your title, not your position, not what you've been told, not what you remember growing up, but being able to identify with where you are and where you're going and where you want to be. The first investment comes into investing in you, the wholeness of you, the acknowledgement of you. And when you first said introduce yourself, people started going, oh, well, I own a construction company, I own a bakery, I own the. Those things are beautiful, but when you're introducing yourself, the first part of your investment that shall be experienced is, hello, I am Yolanda. So I don't want to make it look like we don't understand platform and how normal procedures look. We want to be here to change that. So the first investment is investing in you. The second investment is being aware of what is going on around you to know where to properly place your funds, finances. So before, if you don't know who you are, you definitely don't know how to look at what's around you in order to know what to invest into. So yeah, investment plays a dual role. You want to know who you are, invest in you, and then you want to be able to put parts of you into position to be better. Bettering you means financially, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. But some of the resources that we have, as you said, gatekeeping, that we do not share with each other. I'm so excited that Jade is going back into life insurance and into her insurance sales, because that is a priceless investment. The knowledge of it and knowing how to not just say, I'm a life insurance salesperson, but now she is an investor of living life, because these investments come from your living life benefits. So invest in your community, invest in other business owners, become partnerships in these things. People call me, and I'll be honest, I'm not going to make it seem like it's something always so deep. Hey, I got some money. I need to know where to put it. Okay, that's great. Let's make sure your mind frame is right, though, because you can put it there and snatch it out in a couple of months and make the whole investment worthless, right? Not only that, hey, Yolanda, I need some money. I want to show you my portfolio. I've had all these life insurance policies, or I've invested in these different businesses like we talked about over the years, but now I'm in need. What is the right way to take this money out without hurting the investor or the investment? That's what I do. I sit you down, I have a conversation with you about you, where you want to go based off of where you are, and how you can make those moves successfully, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and financially. Everything that we invest in has an effect on everybody around us. And we don't realize that because we're looking for the right now, the instant gratification. And you get something instantly when you've caused a permanent problem, which is where our community is now.
Wow, my sister, girlfriend. Yes, yes, that is empowerment. That is empowering. That is powerful. Indeed, you're right, because it doesn't make any sense to have something and you don't that's why we continue to fall back and forth through this cycle, because one moment money, they say money is the root of all evil, but it means really, are we knowledgeable enough to know what to do with it, right? Or we're going to squander it, or we're going to make do with what it is, and allow it to grow, and so how are we going to make sure that our hard work and what we put into it is really going to be there for us when we need it to be there for us, not just, that the mindset is so important. Yes. In everything that we do. And I didn't think of it that way, because it is, really what holds us back, and it keeps us, going back and forth in those cycles. And so how can somebody as a woman get connected to you? Well, before you ask that question, this is a question that I wanted to ask, because you talk with so much passion about how, this is definitely something that we need to know, because we're out here, we're growing businesses, right? Yes. And so these businesses are bringing in profits. And so we want to make sure that not only, that we see this money coming linearly, but we want to make sure that this money is growing and is working out on our behalf. They say when you get the money from the event that you threw, that's not time for you to put that money in your pocket and go shopping, right? That's right. Now it's time for you to shift the money and allow the money to be placed in the places where it needs to go. But if you're not knowledgeable about it, right, all you know about is your bank account. Yes. And your debit card. That's it.
Your bank account, right, your debit
card, and your debit card, and that's it. But what happens along the line when your business needs help, right? Yes. What happens along the line when you need help personally, right? And so, that's where stress comes in sometimes, when we don't know what to do with our money, right? Yes. I heard it one time from a millionaire. He said that he had to learn. Now, he didn't become successful in finances until he was like 44 years old. 3-time bankruptcy filer, but he had to realize, he fell short on money, and had to realize where he needed to position himself so that he can capitalize on multiple forms of income, yes. right?
Yes.
Sometimes we only know about one form of income, that linear income, but we don't know that there's passive income,
Streams.
there's residual income,
Yes.
there's multiple streams that we should be aware of so that we are positioning ourselves so that years later, you know, we're not, like you said, making a temporary fix right now for a permanent fix now for a temporary problem.
Yeah.
And so down the line, we want to make sure that we have what's necessary for us. Where's your heart in wanting to really be in this vein, right? I know that adversity births out greatness, and so you know, where did you really come to the realization that, you know what, finances is the thing? Because math, you know, ain't people's strong point, you know. Math don't be mathing for real. And so, yeah, how did you come to want to desire to give back to the community in that way?
Trial and error. Trial and error, 100%. It is a place of, I tried this, I did not know, and I was amongst others. Some of them did know and didn't share.
Okay.
Also, it comes from, I have children. I have 4 children. I have an assignment, an ongoing and forever assignment to have more, to do more, to know better, and to share that, because they're going to go into a world of individuals that have different backgrounds, different substances. You know, you have to be prepared to face those things. And if I have not experienced them, like nobody shared with me, I can't share with them. And I couldn't share with you. I think Jordan said it. He failed so many times. That's what allowed him to win. You know, I have failed quite a few times, but I cannot be ashamed to share those failures in order for someone else to have their success. I've succeeded so many times in my own way, but I did not know how to invest. If I knew, I have run through money so many times without someone to tell me the truth. And I thought I was doing it right. I thought I was doing a great job. I got 100,000 over here. I got 50,000 over here. I got 250,000 over there. And surprise, surprise, somehow I had nothing. Oh, I got this partnership. I trust this person. They have investment in documentation and paperwork to cover yourselves. You know, investments and knowing how, when, and where, and what to do. My passion came from trial and error, failing, and knowing that I have too a legacy that comes behind me that I need to leave, if nothing else, knowledge, so that when they inherit my money, they know what to do with it. And so that if I'm having a conversation with them, they inherit the opportunity to be in a room. They know how to hold that conversation.
Yes. Well, that is so incredible. You know, I think that's going to be the common thread here, because we have to realize, you know, insanity doing the same thing over and over again, it was going to get us nowhere. And in order for us to create a new life, a new generation, you know, we definitely got to do some things differently. How can people get connected to you if they want to now invest in themselves, you know, and make sure that they do everything right financially, but also when it comes to the finances, knowing mentally, spiritually, how to be wrapped into that and do it properly?
Okay, so Jade has so lovely shared that I do have documentation here for everybody, and thank you guys for being here. You can also reach me on all social media platforms at Yolanda I Am Landy McCaskill. You can give me a phone call. I made the mistake of giving out my cell phone number last time, so I'm gonna give you my office number. 708-597-8731. I would love for you to call me and ask any questions or schedule an appointment. Call my office. The reason that I stopped giving out my cell phone number is only because I have to sleep. So as the text messages come in, I was not able to keep up with everybody. If you call the office, I promise you everybody on the team is real sweet, and you'll be able to leave a message and get on the calendar properly so that I can address all of your wants and needs.
Phenomenal. Thank you for being great, Miss Yolanda.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Look, do I go?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, all right. Now we're going to have our second guest, Miss Christy. You cute, darling.
Thank you, baby.
Yes, Tronche. All
you
right.
know.
She came up in here. All right, with this two-piece on.
Shout
glitz
out
and
to
glam.
Obsessed Chicago Boutique, because this is where I got this from, you know.
Yes, indeed. Well, darling, welcome, welcome. Have a seat,
Thank
please.
you.
Oh my goodness, you are just so gorgeous. I love it.
Thank
I
you.
love it. Your smile is just shining brighter than a sunflower.
Period.
Oh, that rhymes a little bit. All right. Well, anywho, Miss Christy, welcome on today. I love that you have been able to join us here today, and we just want to talk a little bit about how you are shining and being the salt of the land here today.
Ooh, I love that. Well, first and foremost, hello everyone. My name is Chrissy, and I actually go by Chrissy the Heartbeat. It was a nickname that was given to me based off of just who I am and what I do, and that's keeping things together. And this journey started for me it's about to be 10 years now, of me just coming more into light of who I am and what I do. But it's been a long journey for sure.
All right. Well, phenomenal. We love journeys, right? They say it's not about the destination, but it's the journey.
Yes.
And that's so true, because we're just so the light at the shiny on the other side, right? We get confounded and think that that's all pretty. So what happens when you get to the other end? You know, you done forgot about the stuff that you went through, and those things really make you who you are. And so tell us a little bit about how you are providing resources to the community. What is it that you bring forth with the community?
A lot of different things. I wear many hats, but my calling, of course, is to bring awareness to different ways to more so be able to live your life, and that the everyday 9 to 5 job, you don't have to, stay stuck in that. There's so much more to life. And as I shared, my journey started about 10 years ago, where I was, well, first I'm a mom, right? And I used to work in corporate America, and it used to be so dreadful in regards to going to the cube farm, and that's what I called it, the cube farm, because I worked in call centers and higher education. And I was just tired of giving so much of my life to working in corporate America and not having enough time to spend with my children. And the only time that I really had was on the weekends, and that never seemed like enough. Then when I'm coming home, all I could do is help with homework, cook, go to sleep, wake up. And that routine got like very boring, and I knew that I always wanted something more. And I remember driving in my car at home because I didn't want to listen to no music. I had the music off. It was just complete silence, so I could just mentally think. And I remember saying to myself that I need to be around people who are about action, right? I was in the beginning stages. I just finished my master's degree. I knew that I wanted to start a business, but it was like, where do I start, right? And I knew that I wanted to be around different individuals who were about actions to be able to produce what I was. But even then, I still didn't know exactly where they were, how I was going to get in contact with them. But I put it out in the universe that this is what I wanted. And literally 9 months later, it manifested for me. I found a group of individuals who were conscious and were on the same frequency that I was, related to starting Black businesses and being the change agent. So I look at myself as a change agent in that, and providing different solutions on how to solve problems.
Okay. Yes. Yes. That you are just definitely amazing, because a lot of people are afraid to step out, right? And to let go of conformity, let go of mediocrity, if I may say, because it is what it is.
Yeah.
We're just used to what we're used to.
Mm.
And in order for us to see something different, we have to be exposed to it, right?
Yes.
And that desire has to be built into us. Otherwise, we will if we don't create our own seat at the table, then we'll forever be on the menu.
Yes.
Right. And so, you saw something greater in yourself, regardless if you knew how you was gonna get it done. You said, guess what?
I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. I can definitely understand where you're coming from. I feel exactly how you felt as a single mom, really making my way through, and even as a nurse, made some really good money, but that money came with working 2 and 3 jobs at the same time, right?
And
so
long hours.
I didn't see my kids either, and so as they grew older, it hit me like, wait a minute, have I equipped them with what was necessary for themselves? And so we need to be present as women, right? As figures, predominant figures in our community, pillars in our communities. We have some great gifts that are within us that other people can definitely be able to position themselves so that they can come out, right? So us sharing our stories in platforms like this is very important, so that other people can see that they're not alone. Right? That we all finding our ways, and sometimes it takes us a little longer in life to find that way than is necessary sometimes. But 10 years. So what ways do you connect with women right now? If someone wanted to utilize your services, how would they connect with you?
Well, of course, through the social media platforms, but you can also connect with me through my website. I have a system, and then also my business. So I'm a business operations solutionist. I solve business problems with different tools and resources. And you're able to get in contact with me through AdvantageSuites.biz. So AdvantageSuites.biz. And I just want to go back just a little bit in regards to something that you mentioned, and I wanted to share. Like, being a mom, being a woman, being a wife, a girlfriend, or different things like that, we tend to take on a lot of different things and responsibilities, but we tend to forget about doing ourselves, taking care of ourselves. And I want to just make sure I encourage women who are out there who are going through different things, that make sure that you're taking that time out for yourself, because it's so important. If you don't, you can't be able to hear more so what you need to hear through God, and be able to speak to those different individuals. And for me, like I said, my story started about 18 years ago, just related to finding myself. I felt like I lost myself when I was so wrapped up in corporate America, and I truly lost my mind and really had to start all over in regards to just everything that everything that I felt I was doing right, and I built my foundation off of, but my foundation was weak. And by my foundation being weak, it crumbled. I literally had to start all over. And I'm here today to say that whatever you are going through, relationship, if it's not working out, leave it. Let it go. That job, it ain't doing you no good, leave it, let it go. There's something else out there for you, right? Follow your dreams, if anything. And I am a walking testament of just doing that, of leaving corporate America and knowing that, okay, I got to do something else. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest grandchild. I'm also an Aries. So Aries, we are pioneers. We always doing something first, doing something different. And it'd be hard sometimes when you have individuals who may not know exactly what you're talking about or where you're going, but you still got to do it anyway. That's me. I still got to do it and figure it out anyway, some shape, form, and fashion. And I am definitely the queen of making it happen. And I've been able to make a lot of things happen without very much support. And I'm still continuing to make things happen, just based off of my drive, my higher calling, my purpose.
Yes. Well, keep vibrating Hi, sister. You are definitely making waves. We need to be around that positive energy, right? We need to know that these different avenues exist. And so thank you for all that you do and just bringing out that greatness and letting other women know that it's okay to go through those things as well, right? Sometimes we do have to hit that rock bottom in order for us to spring back up, right? We do have to have that greater belief that is within us, right? That we know that there's no such thing as being stuck. If we're divinely guided, all we got to do is take one step upon the next. And, even, not even the last 10 years, but the last few years has really taught us some things about our own capabilities, that we are able to really do those things that really bring us more purpose, bring us more happiness, that bring us more joy. And if that means walking away from a job, then we know that we have that power now. And we've seen that we've overcome in these last few years, right? We've overcome so much in such a short time that now we have the evidence of what's possible for us. And so you're telling a lot of people's story, Miss Christy. I want to see you continue to share your story and how your journey is enlightened. Yes, indeed. By helping other women, right? And we love what you do for the community. It is definitely super necessary. So if you told us a lot, as far as how we could help ourselves. I want to ask you for one last tip that you would share with other women who may feel like they are, like you said, stuck. Because sometimes we feel like we've maybe in a job or a career, and what do, right? We keep bumping our heads, like you said, on that hamster wheel, wondering what is my big break? How am I going to do this? How can I free myself? I don't see a way out. And so we internalize that, right? And so we get to holding on to it. But I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because
I know, because that's a rabbit hole to go down. Okay.
Yeah. But what is one thing that you say that you utilize, maybe a way of life, a philosophy, or a quote or a scripture or something that you hold close to you that helps you in your moments?
Ooh, I live by one of the 4 agreements. I really tapped into just that in itself, but I've created my own motto, and it's what I call the 5 F's. And my 5 F's is to always have faith, to be fair, firm, friendly, and to always have facts. Because facts don't have feelings, and your feelings are not going to change these facts.
Come on, sis.
So I live by that daily, just in regards to just that. And those who want to hear it again, that is to always have faith, to be fair, firm, friendly, and to always have facts. Because your facts don't have feelings, and your feelings are not going to change these facts.
Yes, absolutely. Well, phenomenal for you. I love it. I'm going to definitely incorporate those 5 F's into my lifestyle and my daily repertoire, because it's important to talk good to our Right now, we want to talk about this book. You know what I'm saying? With Miss Jade Crossfrench, we really talk about this book, Reprogrammed. As we know, as we've heard from the other panelists, how important mindset is, and how we need to know who we are to believe in ourselves so that we can live the most thriving lives that we are destined to live. There are plans for our lives. And so, Miss Jade Crossfrench, come on in, darling. Let's have this book discussion. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
We still live? Oh, okay. Oh, we got. Okay. Well, either way, I'm just thankful to have, the women that I do have around me, like really pouring that genuine love. And men too, and I just I just got these examples, and I'm thankful. I'm
Yes.
thankful for that. So, yeah.
Yes, yes. And soon the student becomes the teacher. May I see your copy of reprograms? All right. So I believe that books are gifts given to us from the Most High, that those who are gifted enough to recognize and to be woke enough to share what is in their heart and in their minds. Because anytime, I don't know about y'all, but I'm a big book reader. I'm big on self-help and spirituality books and things like that. But every time I read a book, it awakens and it enlightens me in some sort of way. And so I believe that they are gifts. And so if you've seen enough in yourself to be obedient to write a book so that other people that may pick it up can see the words and run with it, you are definitely utilizing your gifts appropriately, and we appreciate you in all that you do. Some people believe that, we all have at least one book in us, right? And so this is one of many. I don't know if this is the first one, but this is one of many of a series. Now we know that there is a workbook that accompanies a book. And so what I know about great authors is a couple of things. And first thing is, if I'm going to teach you something, then I need to be the one to help you to navigate what it is that I taught you. It's one thing to put it in the book, and then now I got to go figure out how to apply this thing to my life. Like, I just read this, now I got to figure out how to do it, right? But that's amazing, because now you've given that companion to this book so that we ain't got to go find it. We ain't got to go figure out what you're talking about. And so that we can marry the two. Another thing that I think is very important about writing a book is how it affects the person that is reading it, right? And we can read many books. We can have hundreds of books in our library, but hundreds of books won't be in us, because sometimes we can just read that book and it just is what it is. It may not have any effect. We may not apply any of the things that we read. But I say that to say, I've not yet read this. However, the first paragraph had me wanting to read more. Wow, wow, wow. It has to be captivating. It has to have a hook that just makes you want to dig in and just really dive into the deliciousness of it. Let me tell you what really caught my eye, and maybe this is where we can start. I know that for many of us, as the women came here and so eloquently, shared their vulnerable moments with us, right? In a short period, right? A little snippet of that vulnerability. We know it goes a lot deeper than that, right? But what got me was the last part. It said, I kept finding myself back in survival mode. Wow. That's why your thoughts are necessary, because that resonates with a lot of people. I myself have found myself feeling like I was in survival mode, even though I was accomplishing different things in life, becoming a registered nurse, even with 2 children, just doing a lot of things all the time, kind of almost being on autopilot. And I think one of the young ladies had touched on it a little bit, is when we are doing something and we realize that that's not what we want to be doing anymore. And it feels foreign to us. And now we have to find ourselves. And I think that sometimes we have to find ourselves because we've been living a life that we've been pre-programmed to live, because of our families, our environments, and the things that we've learned in school and the tradition. And now we're talking about being reprogrammed. Come on, sis, tell us more about how we are reprogrammed, because the old is not working anymore. Out with the old and in with the new. Come on, Miss Jade, break it down.
Okay. So let me start with the process. So in 2019, I started my first ever like life coaching session. And I really wanted to interview her today or have her speak on the screen. I'm glad I didn't do all that because I wouldn't know how to put it on the screen anyway. This was the best that we could do. And it looks amazing. I'm really proud of the work that we did. But I wanted her to come share like the principles that I was taught. This was one of Bob Proctor's students that taught me, and she wasn't. She was what is she? Filipino. She's a Filipino lady, and she's been helping me from 2019. And I paid that time. This is when I was working at the bank. I invested into myself, paid $6,000 over a course of period of time, and I got all of this material. I ain't did nothing with it. Nothing with it. The pandemic came, and I was the biggest that I had ever been. I lost like 25, almost like 27 pounds since this period. I think it was in 2021 or 22 that I called the suicide hotline. And it wasn't because like, oh, I was about to off myself. I just felt like the environment that I was living in was so unhealthy. The food that I was eating, like just being in the environment that I was in was killing me. Like I never lived like that in my life. Why am I doing this now? What is wrong with me? I know better. Like I grew up with better. I've seen better. I've been taught better. Why am I not doing better? Like what is wrong with me that what is really going on? So I start analyzing. I start going to therapy. I went to a pre-diabetic program where they taught me how to eat like proportionately. I even tried like Food Addicts Anonymous. Like I was just like trying these different steps in these different programs, and none of it worked. But I kept going. I knew what I wanted. Like I always knew what I wanted to do. But it's just like, okay, go a little further and then get kicked all these steps back. One, because I realized that I was not emotionally mature enough to be in these rooms or be this person that I felt like people should have treated me like. So I had to reprogram my mind. What am I doing? What is not healed in me that I keep going through these situations? So that's where this book came in, because with the life coach, we had to stop because I couldn't pay her no more. Like, I can't pay you. And then I'm here. Like, it was a lot going on. It's just like, I can't pay you. My car got repoed. Like, I can't pay nobody. I can't do nothing with my finances right now. And it was just a hard time. And then I separated, and it was just like, I got to figure out how to do this on my own now. Especially because I had a strong codependent nature. And that's why I love When Bosses Link so much, because even though that it comes out sometimes because we all work together, but it made me want to get more independent. So I went through a time where I was just like, I don't really want to be around nobody. I'm emotionally wounded by like all of the things that have been going on around me. What do I do to better myself? So I just start writing, and I naturally write. I write curriculums, right? I write emails. I do the back end of, paperwork and stuff like that. So I wrote my book. I was just like, you know what? It's just time. And then I'm like, okay, what can do next? So then all of these dominoes affect all of these women that God placed in my life. It's like, okay, this is what you're doing. So it's really God calling the game plans with these things. And it's me becoming a little bit more emotionally mature every day so that I could continue to walk into who I know God wants me to be, because I can't have the same program, the same paradigms that I had before. I have to really become a new person in order to get what it is that I know is mine. And that's the book.
And that is absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
Did I say phenomenal? Yes. Oh my goodness. Wow, wow, wow. Look, I can't wait to dive into my copy. And, the 4 agreements was mentioned. And it sounds like you had to make a new agreement, right? With yourself. And you had to, forget about the old agreement that you made, because now you realize that I am worthy. I am worth it. I am somebody, right? We get caught up into, who am I? Right? That's a challenge for a lot of people to answer the question of who am I? And in order for us to really live purposefully and to have worth and value placed on ourselves, we have to know something about who we are, where we come from, know that we have purpose, that we have substance, that our lives matter, right? And so, wow, you really have wrapped up a lot of different things into one. And this is gonna be a quick read, family. I'm telling you, it don't take much for us to really take control of ourselves. We know about the 5 F's, but I like to live by the 3 C's myself. If we don't take a chance for ourselves to give ourselves new choices, then we'll never be the change that we want and need to see. Our children depend on us, right? And if we're not well in different areas in our mind, first and foremost, they're affected by it as well, right? So it's a domino effect. And what I also hear you talk about is community a lot, and that's kind of common with the theme of why we are here, because community is what helps us to keep ourselves together. They say once you stay close to the fire, so that you stay hot. Right. And that means that you stay close enough to people who are in positive associations, that they are making those different improvements in their lives to where you want to be. Right. If you are, taking the advice of people who are not making good life decisions, then you'll become part of those life decisions that are not the best for yourself as well. And so you just really putting yourself in a position now. Moving forward, what would you like to do with this book? How would you like what is your vision, the mission behind making sure that this book is in as many hands as it can possibly be in? And what do you see it doing for the lives of those who get a chance to read it?
One is I am my first student. That's always what I go by, even from young gifted hustler now walking into the millennial economic innovator space. This is going to be like the very basics of a communication with someone who wants to seek my guidance, who wants to learn from me, and they actually want to like be partners. Like, hey, have you read my book? That's the way that one get to know me, and then also it prompts you to get to know who you are, because along the journey, the biggest lesson that I've learned, the hardest thing that there is for you to do is to know yourself and overcome yourself. So I have really stuck to that. I just keep getting to know myself, keep getting to overcome myself so that I can meet these people, because God is just going to automatically send them to me. So this book is going to help aid them. It's also like the next steps. And then also it's just going to position me to be able to get into the rooms that I need to get into, to be able to help others, whether it's with consulting, whether it's for them to protect their families, or whether it's just providing another woman or a youth with a resource that they need in order to improve their lives. So it'll put me in the rooms that I need to be in. I'm a self-published author. I can teach other people how to do it, how easy it is, how short, the book is. It's only 32 pages long, but you have an 82-page workbook to go along with it. And if you wanted to do it too, it's a 12-page book to show you how to do that too. So it's just a discussion maker. That's what I'm going to view that as. It's just the beginning of a conversation.
Okay. Yes, yes. A conversation that's necessary to be had. And that is something that I really cherish. And I think a lot of people love about you, your spirit. You talked about the challenges that you had to overcome, being in different relationships and things like that, that didn't hold you back. That greatness that is within you has always been a part of you. And, now you have found grace for yourself, something that we rarely give to ourselves, but we give it to so many other people, right? We'll allow other people to get chance after chance, but how many chances do we give to ourselves? And so that is amazing that you see this as a catalyst of, what is going to take to make sure that, because the first thing that you said, right? Well, not the first thing, but one of the first things that stood out as you were sharing how you created this is wanting to give back. download, hit this QR code so you can do the same thing I did, right? She is already ready to go to work for somebody else. And so that's really what I love about our partnership, is that we get to go out and spread our wings, right? We get to butterfly out, and there's no holding back, right? There's no holding back the knowledge and the information that we gain, because it does us no good to hold back something that is not ours in the beginning, right? And we've only just scratched the surface of what it is that we are capable of. And so I look forward to having discussions about this book and seeing what rooms it gets you into. And what platforms. We definitely want to make sure that we are manifesting great things, because as you see, because I used to also think that I was on an island, that I was by myself, that I was the only person that went through certain things. But then when I realized I wasn't alone, it made me feel not so isolated, or that I was an alien, that something was wrong with me. But in all of my moments where I was able to express myself, able to connect myself with other people who could hear me, right? Who can understand where I'm coming from, that didn't turn me down, that didn't turn me away, that looked at me some way, or talked about me, or spread my business in a way that wasn't fashionable, so to say, right? Now, once we tell people what's going on, it's okay for them to go out. It's already in the atmosphere, right? But it's a certain way, in decency and order, that we need to be doing things, right? Absolutely. So now we get to put those good things out. And so as we wrap up, I want to ask you, what are some ways that you would like to see us as women open up in the community? That way we are able to grow the wealth that we all have, that's not just sheltered in the corners of our own gardens, but that we are, making sure that other women know who we are, what we do, how to connect with us, and that we exist, and that they are welcome to come to us as well. What is next on the move for Jade?
Continuing to just hold myself accountable, hold the women around me accountable, make sure they holding me accountable, because I feel like even with all the knowledge that we get, sharing, not gatekeeping, we could give information to somebody and they don't know what to do with it. So making sure that it's applied, and we're holding each other accountable in these spaces, whether it's my material, whether it's Chrissy's system, whether it's sitting to talk to you, we have to hold each other accountable, and we have to reproof each other too. Like you said, sitting by the fire, I love talking about the fire, because fire is refining. Sometimes I feel like we're going through fire with what we're going through in our lives, but what's next is what we do after that. Are we going to hold each other accountable? Are we going to keep going? Are we going to, continue to pull each other? Because I know another thing too, I don't want to use this as a way to pull somebody up and then stop them. Because I've also experienced that, like somebody teaching me and grooming me. But when they see that I'm growing, our relationship ends. I want everlasting relationships with the people that I am building relationships with. I don't care if we fall out. I don't care if we get mad at each other. Reprogramming to the point where we know that we have to really build our own economies right now. Like with me, it go deep. So I don't want to go like too far into it, because those are my thoughts. But I do surround myself with like-minded people. Like, I don't want nobody who's just going, okay, I just told you my story. Okay, you know me? No, I don't. I need to see that you are living this, because that's where the accountability lies. This is just a beginning of accountability. The only way that I was able to be reprogrammed, or at least start that process, it took me over 5 years to even get here. So I had to be accountable. And so do each and every one of us. So that's what's next, accountability and keeping going.
Yes, doing our part, being that mirror, that reflection, what we want to see in the world. We will attract more of what we, what we have grown ourselves, we got to grow to that level to be able to attract those things in which we want to see in our lives, right? So that the manifestation of those things that can have space. Absolutely. And in order for us to attract something different, we got to become something different. And so, y'all, I am affectionately known as Miss Baddie Cherry. And I need to let everybody know that, because I was about to wrap up and say, it's your girl, Baddie Cherry, checking out, right? And y'all was going to be looking at me like, Baddie Cherry, who is she talking about? And she two different people. And so yeah, part of my movement and what I do as a health and wellness advocate is that I do personal training as well. And right now I have a virtual boxing course that I have going on. And so, you know, that's where the baddie comes in, because I believe that we are all bold. And so we are making waves, right? We're doing things great. And when I partner with individuals, we usually work together on a fitness term. But I know that how we do one thing, yes, let's go. How we do one thing is how we do everything. And so, you know, when we focus our bodies and our minds together, we can do some amazing things holistically in all areas of our lives. And so, Baddie Cherry, check it out, y'all.
Yes, how do we
Let's
find
get
you?
connected.
Baddie Cherry where?
I am Baddie Cherry on Instagram. Baddie_Cherry on Instagram. And then on Facebook, I am Mahalia Cherry. So let's get connected. There's more to come through Couch Conversations, Women Championing Women. Let's go.
Ooh, yay! It's a wrap. Thank you so much for everybody hanging out. One more. What? Oh, where to order the book? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Y'all,
How did we?
Look, this book to me is just a step, but you can go to bookpresale.jadecrossfrench.com. Thank you, y'all, for reminding me of telling people where to go. It will be available on Amazon on Tuesday. It will be available in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover. And you can also visit my website, jadecrossfrench.com, and Jade Crossfrench on all social medias. And you can also Google me if you wanted to know a little bit more about what I've done and who I am. Yeah, that is it. And make sure you support, even if you don't support or get a book. My biggest thing is I really want to build the relationship, so still reach out. You can send me an email at info@jadecrossfrench.com. Let me know you hear me. Let me know you see me. Let me know if you need anything, because my biggest thing is to see where I can be of a resource. Okay?
That's right.
It's a wrap.
Hey.
Woo! I don't know if it went live, but I recorded all. All right, perfect.